Okay. Welcome to T in Transit. It's Saturday, May 18, 7:22 a.m. coming at you from Maui, Hawaii. And this is our current transit. Actually, that's my chart. Now we're going to look at the current transit only. You guys know I like using just the sun and the earth just to keep things clean. But, for the sake of this one, especially since I'm not recording it visually, let's just do this. So one thing that's really interesting to see when we turn the other planets on, of course, is we have Jupiter and the sun in the same house, which this is gate 8. And if you don't have any experience with gate 8 is the voice that says, I can contribute something here, or I can't contribute something here. If you have this defined, it means that you're generally going to have a better idea of like when your art or when you have something to contribute to the situation or not. Again, it's a clear, I know I have something to contribute, what I have is valuable, or what I have is not valuable to this current situation. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're always going to be spot on with like, oh, it actually does have value. It can emerge in a distorted way, but the way that it emerges in a distorted manner is in the sense of like, again, someone not really leaning into their gifts and their definition. They're living out of a lot of their undefined centers through not self-activity, etc. And so they're trying to contribute something quote unquote unique to the world that is actually just a rip-off of something else. In a healthy perspective, the chickens, thank you. My rooster's just going off right now. But in the healthy perspective, the 8 is, again, this voice of like, I have something to contribute here. So let's go ahead and look at the 8. The 8 is in our sun. And like I said, also, it's Jupiter is there as well, which Jupiter, law and protection. I also see Jupiter as kind of this sort of, expansion or your bigness. And then the sun is going to be our personality, expression, our life force. 70% of our neutrinos come from the sun. And again, this is in the gate of contribution. Line 5, which, wow, guys, we flew through these past 2 transits. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get on here more. Had some recent crazy stuff happen. But anyway, gate 8, line 5. We got Dharma. I love the 5th lines of everything, especially because I'm a 3/5. But it's like the perfected form before people acknowledge it as the perfected form. And what we have is Jupiter in exaltation, which is the teacher. Contribution as a part of a process, sharing that accepts and expects limitation exemplified in teaching. The detriment is the parent that cannot let go of the child, understanding only that the authority is being challenged. Contribution as an end in itself that neither accepts nor expects limitation, exemplified is the parent that cannot let go of the child. So this is the teacher that understands and trains their student to surpass them. A father who trains his son to surpass him, as opposed to the father or the mother or the teacher who limits the student and is not able to let go of them. Very, very interesting, especially as well, because if you look at the connection between the 8 and the 1, right, this is about the channel of the creative role model. Here it is right here, if anyone wants to read about it on neutrino design. But 1 is all about, this creative self and this pulse and process, the values and morals of creation, connecting with the 8. And again, this channel is really about bringing your unique identity to the world, contributing it to the world through the form of knowing when to contribute it. And yeah, that's it. So with that being said, let's move to gate 14. So gate 14 is now down in the sacral, connects to gate 2, which is the receptive in the G center, the identity center. Gate 14 is power, skills, possession, in great measure. The line name is arrogance. And we have the innate dignity that is a key to power. Detriment is a dissatisfaction with with the gifts of others that creates feelings of superiority. Innate recognition of those without power, fueling the illusion of superiority. So this is I love how the 5 shows up. 5 is very having to do. 4, 5, and 6 are very much so transpersonal. 1, 2, and 3 lines are very much so personal. So with the 5th line, a lot of the times there's a recognition of something, right? Either as a problem, like this up in the 8, we had the recognition of like the teacher and the limitations of the teacher as either a problem or like something natural. Here, what we have is the recognition of let's see, dignity. Dignity. What is? I actually don't know. If you guys ever don't understand something, or not under, it's not that I don't understand what dignity is, but I like to look up the etymology of these words, see what their building blocks are. Okay, so deck is to take and accept. Dignity is a state of being worthy. And the deck, part of dignity, means to take or accept. Oh, makes sense. The dignity. Make something worthy. The dictionary is fun, but the etymology library is way better, I think. Innate dignity, an innate worth. Innate worth, that is a key to power. Dissatisfaction with the gifts of others that creates feelings of superiority. So the detriment of this is looking at the gifts of other people as not being necessarily as useful, or more so in this way of pedestaling oneself into superiority. So, again, when we're looking at the transits here, what we're looking at is these neutrino streams that are current. Now, it doesn't mean that they are going to affect us, but it doesn't mean like this is how it affects me. But it doesn't mean that it's changing our chart, right? For the better, I should say. It is conditioning us, right? But this is not my chart. Yeah, this is not my chart. Where's the, not go back. There we go. That's my chart. But if I look at my chart with the transits, I can see the ways that I'm being conditioned in the current thing. So this is the way you can look at transits. Is like, for me, I'm like, oh, my head najna is on because of this 23. And then also my money channel is on because of this 21. How long is that money channel going to be on? That's nice. How long will the 21 be on? Let me look. 21 will be on for 9 more days, making the money. I love it. Anyway, so, and I'm able to see, okay, how does this turn on? Oh, the 51 or the 25. Okay. So, I'm looking at this chart and realizing like, okay, there's going to be extra ego. There's going to be extra G center, be extra throat, and there's going to be extra head pressure just for me on my own. So if there's extra anxiety, okay. Or if there's extra like of this like personal conversation, weird ideas, if there's extra feelings of wanting to be in control, if there's extra, universal love, I'm looking at the gates that are in transit. I'm not looking at that as like, oh, this is how I should be now, or this is how it's going to be now. It's again, they're temporary pieces. Yes, soul prospering. So this is just for me. This is my chart mixed in with the neutrino design. That's what I was mentioning there. For you, it might look different, but if we look at the transit only, the transit, if a child was born today, their personality placements, they would have a reflector as their personality placements with an open head and an open ajna, which is very interesting. Anyway, that's the transits for today, guys. Contribution and dharma. The teacher that knows their limitations, or the teacher that forces those limitations onto their student. And then we have gate 14, which is arrogance, and it's either the feeling of superiority over others, or it's a dignity and an acknowledgement of dignity that that does not create this illusion of one person being better than the other. And that's our transits for today, guys. We can look at tomorrow as well, 19th. So on the 20th, we're going to move into, what is that? the 20, and the 34. I thought that came before. Oh, that was channel structuring. So the next transit we have, guys, is going to be this sacral to throat connection. This is the manifesting generator channel. This is the classical manifesting generator, empowering the self through the now, through the voice. So this is going to be an exciting one, guys. I have a feeling that's going to be a really exciting one. And yeah, with that being said, Soul Prospering, thanks for hitting those keynotes for me. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll be back with you hopefully before this transit moves over, but I might start to do kind of more of a weekly transit report just so I can be a little bit more consistent about it. Anyway, love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the other side of this transit. Aloha, mahalo, peace.